Hello, how are you everyone? I'm really good. I just thought I'd touch base with you guys and speak to you about how I've been feeling since the last video that I made about Ayahuasca and my relationship with that and Vipassana and experiences afterwards. So essentially, a month later, I've been kind of in a place where I have just been reevaluating everything that has come to me. Relationships, ways I interact with situations, how I'm approaching my life, my attitudes towards life, and how that all shapes how I feel about things. The effect from taking the plant medicine was very intense, and I saw things that horrified me. But thinking about it now, I realise that it's just been my own beliefs and my own perception of reality that has caused all of these nightmares to be the way that they are. It was very clear in the first night of visions that I had systems in place that I had built up over watching countless things on the internet and just building my life around those things that I'd seen, because I stopped reading newspapers and I was just looking at different news sources and information sources that were available to me on the internet rather than anywhere else. And if I was to watch something on television, it would be usually from something that I saw on my phone or surfing the net. And it's just very interesting because the visions went on for a long time. They were quite distressing for the majority of the time. And then it was just literally at the very last moment, the last 10 minutes of the second day, where I came to this dazzling clarity that love and growth and expansion and nature are really the only truth that we have in this world, and our love for one another. And even though that this was something that is obvious intellectually, to really understand it for myself and to love myself was a big thing. And I've been going through what the dark night of the soul can be said. I've been going through that for a long time. I would say around about 27, 28 when my turn of Saturn occurred, and then things started to kind of develop in my belief system, and I managed to manifest things in a way that was really great for me at the time and encouraging for my growth, but essentially it still wasn't where I needed to get to. And 35, about 7 years later, I ended up going into Vipassana, and that really started to literally rip off layers of belief systems, of understandings, of ways that I thought about the world. Everything changed, started to unravel. And what has gone on after that has been like a kind of, constant discovery of new things and new understandings. The way I interact with my relationships has been a really big thing for my own personal growth. And how we relate to each other is derived from our parents, derived from our relationships with the people who we're most intimate with, our personal relationships and our relationship with our parents. And I've learnt so much over the last 5-6 years now, since doing Vipassana, also going into the plant medicine. It's just been such a journey that you kind of think, where is it going? What's happening? How's it going to continue? But essentially, you start to realise that the journey, that is the journey, understanding all those things. I was thinking when is it that I'm going to start, you know, thinking that this is enough, that I've learnt enough of these things and I'm going to be putting them into practice in a way that I feel that I'm being successful in my life. But the thing is that with every passing lesson, with every interaction, I'm constantly learning, and the plant medicines really help me to just be grateful for those moments and be grateful for the journey that I'm taking, and that I'm not supposed to be putting the pressure of being enlightened or being at a certain level of understanding when nothing, absolutely nothing bothers you, is really, is quite a big ask of oneself. And I'm also noticing situations where I'm triggered, and situations how I would have reacted before taking the plant medicine, and the difference between that. Like, I'm more compassionate, I tend to not be so angry for so long, like it'll just be like a kind of passing annoyance as opposed to something that really ruins my day. Being really conscious of my words and how they make a difference to other people and to myself. Just being still and silent and available and vulnerable within those moments seems to be a little bit easier to do. So I would say that's probably the most marked difference that I've noticed. But yeah, that's been the main thing that I wanted to document, because there's always pressure, especially if you're, you know, doing some kind of spiritual work or shadow work, which this is a constant thing of the shadow. I don't feel like I'm out of my shadow work, and I don't know if one ever stops ever doing shadow work unless they do become to that stage where nothing really bothers them, because essentially we're still human beings living that experience. So until we transcend that, then there's no way that we can really, you know, stop having expectations of ourselves, having doubts about ourselves, doing things wrong, so to speak. Yeah, so giving myself a bit of a break has been the biggest thing. Being satisfied with where I am and where I've come from. I've learned so much more about the actual plants itself, like the and also other plant medicines as well that are out there that I may be considering trying. I'm not sure. I definitely will be going back to drinking ayahuasca, but I won't be. I don't know. I'm quite open to what may happen. So yeah, those are really the main insight, or that is the main insight. And I thought I'd share that with you a month down the line. And I'm not going to say it's been easy, because it hasn't been. I feel like I've revisited like old ways and old patterns of behaviour, like more so in the last month than I have done before. And things that had been really buried deep, or that I thought I'd healed, came up, and they were like, oh, they're quite there, you know, I thought I'd gotten over that. So it's really interesting, and seeing it with a learning and loving view, in order to just grow more as a person. So hopefully that'll continue. I'm sure it will in some way. And yeah, I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling pretty happy, and we'll just see how things continue going on. I haven't meditated, and I feel okay. So it would be interesting to go back to the meditation and really integrate that, which I have to do anyway if I'm going back in to do the medicine. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, you take care, have a great afternoon. I hope you're well. Thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you really soon.